Welcome to the More Than More podcast, where we discuss building meaningful, impactful businesses, careers, and lives through real estate. So what's it been like ever since you hit Centurion status? Like, has it been, do people just come up to you on the streets?
Are you Thomas Payne? I see your face everywhere.
Yeah. We don't have a billboard or anything for you, but
that was actually on my suggestion list for 2026.
I shouldn't say this out loud, but many, many, many years ago, Scott Myers, I think, hit some major production level. This was when we were a very small team.
Okay.
And we got a billboard, an actual billboard in Ankeny of his face.
I love that.
And he was on a high for a month.
You know, I would actually have a love-hate relationship with that. Like, I would love it. I would love the attention, but I would also be embarrassed by how much I loved it.
Anyone that knows you knows how much you like to have your ego stroked.
I would be embarrassed by how much I loved it. Yeah.
Well, I think that's the context for having you in again. You're actually a relatively repeat podcast. You're not always a guest. You're actually here sometimes just as a new agent success coach and talking about different strategies and stuff with Angela. Mm-hmm. But I've got you here today because I think it's been 3 years since I interviewed you. And maybe the context then was getting to Golden Circle.
That feels very weird that it was that long ago. It doesn't feel like that long, but I think you're right.
It was 2023. That's all I know. I need to go back and listen to it. But today you're here because you hit Centurion sometime. When did you hit it? Towards the end of the year?
Yeah, it was probably like October.
And that's a huge accomplishment. And we've had a couple more people hit Centurion this year. And now it really is a big deal because we have a thing called the Centurion Club.
Yeah. And you know that I'm tripping because I'm very happy to have made it. Yeah. That's a big deal. No, that's not, no, but I'm excited.
What's the tripping part?
Just how, like, it's incredible. It's just really exciting. And I'm just really, I've been very candid with you that throughout my career in real estate, I never really thought I would amount to this much. And so I'm very excited and also just don't really believe it necessarily.
Curious, because I think Angela brought this up, talking about you behind your back. Is there a little bit of realtor psychosis syndrome sneaking in yet for next year? No.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And this has been the case at any time. There's been about three times in my career where I've had, let's call it, marginal production jumps. And every single time it happens, I think well, that must have been a mistake. Like, how in the world am I going to make that happen again?
And have you had a backwards year?
My second year was
I remember that.
A backwards year. Yeah.
You had a rapid start. We thought, oh my gosh, this guy's a phenom.
You know what's hilarious is I had a rapid start, and I specifically remember you throughout my first year saying, like, you're killing it.
Yeah.
Like, you're crushing it. And I sold $1 million of production, which was 7 houses back then, which was a decent job back then for a great first year, but it was $1 million. And it was, I just think that's hilarious thinking back on that.
And then your second year, you struggled.
It was, I did not sell $1 million. I probably sold, it was like $600,000 something of production. And,
which is not really, I mean, that's scraping by. I mean, that's not really paying the bills, is it?
No. I was still working at Olive Garden my second year. And then
I remember this.
My third year, I quit. And my third year,
you quit Olive Garden.
I quit Olive Garden. Yeah, I quit Olive Garden. My third year, I had a marginal production jump. I don't remember what it was my third year, but
marginal. You keep saying that. So you've never had, at the way you're describing it, any sort of seismic, massive, cataclysmic jumps.
This year would probably be
the first. How much of a jump percentile do you know?
I don't know. Let's see. It's probably 40%. Like, I ended the year in, it's probably about, not 40%. Like, I increased my business by, I'm not really good at math.
Numbers.
So last year, 2024, I would have ended somewhere just north of $7 million of production. And this year it's 12.5.
Oh, that's That's significant. That's much more than 40%.
It's like
I need to
not
pull out
half,
your.
but
Yeah, that's incredible. So yeah, we described you in the past as maybe the tortoise and the hare,
Yes.
steady, slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah.
It's been marginal, to use your word, increases, but very, very steady and progressive, other than that second year where you had to find yourself.
yeah.
Any insights into why this year, and how many years is it now for you? Coming on a decade?
Closing out 12.
12.
Yeah.
Man. So in your 12th year, why now? Any algorithm that you can figure out? Any magic that you've identified?
No, it's boring. It is purely like I have been business planning, and when I review where my business came from this year, it is very much repeat and referral. And so it is, well, I think I can relate to a lot of, there are some new agents that join our company that are easy for me to relate to, where they didn't grow up in this area. They don't have big spheres of influence, because that was me. And I think that was partly the reason for some of my slower growth, because I was building a database at the time. And also I was a young 22-year-old kid who was
You had to earn some street cred?
the most motivated person at the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's not about how people viewed you. It's that you weren't working that hard?
It was both, for sure. Yeah, I was, yeah, for sure. Quitting Olive Garden was a very good thing for me to motivate me. And and then, but it was very, when I look at this year, there was two standout ways that I got business.
Okay.
One was it just purely repeat and referral. That was going to be the vast majority of my transactions. But I actually had a lot of referrals from outside agents too, that were referring into the people moving, relocating into the
From out of town, or from, and so to what do you attribute that? Is that Buffini connections, or where those relationships come from?
Some of them, yes, Buffini connections, some internal in our company, and one random one that I don't know how he found me, and I don't know. I was nervous to ask, like, how actually did you hear about me? But
Are some of these agents that you've been a part of, like coaching as new agent success coach, or is this just random agents from other offices in our company that like you because you're so likable?
That's there's that, and then I got at least two, maybe three. No, I got three referrals. Some of them ended up doing more than one transaction this year from people that were like Buffini connections.
Well, how'd you connect with them? Do you go to conferences or?
No. It was like a Buffini Facebook page where people that I had connected with on conferences or something like that referred me to people on a Buffini Facebook page that, yeah.
That's really fascinating. I'm glad you brought that up. Megan has told that as part of her story progressively over the years as well. And she's been very intentional. Like every year for 15 years, she went to the Turning Point retreats and was very connected to that community. And she always said a big part of her growth every year was outside referrals.
Yeah, it was a big part. I think it ended up being about 6 transactions this year from referrals from outside agents.
Which, you do the math on that, that's a considerable amount of revenue.
Yeah.
Which then turns into future repeat and referral business.
Well, yeah, like one of them already referred me to other clients that closed this year, and yeah.
That's amazing.
It's good.
What's the lesson there? Be connected, be likable?
Yeah, something that I continually put out to new agents that I'm coaching is just make sure you're getting in front of people. And I try to do that with not only my database, but also with outside agents.
Yeah.
Angela and I, at the beginning of 2025, I knew that I wanted outside agents as like referrals from outside agents being
you
a
made
spoke.
This a spoke?
Yeah. And we created a plan with it. I executed it marginally, but it must have worked.
But half the time, that's all it takes is any degree of intentionality.
Yeah.
And it's like the law of attraction takes over.
Yeah.
A little bit of work on something is more than just hoping or blindly waiting.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a really cool story. So you said two things. You said that, and then you said repeat and referral. Super quick. The formula for your repeat and referral business. I know you do client parties, but talk me just through like your plan of action for client care, communication, and getting in front of your database.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I struggled with a lot in the beginning and the middle part of my career was just I think most realtors, and to their credit, this is a creative job. Like with the pop-bys, with the touch points, with everything, it's an opportunity for people to get really creative with it. And I'm not a creative person. And so for me, it's about consistency, and I find the things that I like to do, and then I just do them every year. So with my client parties, I've done the same 2 client parties for 5 to 6, maybe 7 years now.
They are ice cream
social in July,
which is like aimed at kids mostly, or what's
families.
Okay,
yeah, it's definitely aimed at kids. 2 of my client parties are aimed. It's very towards families.
And super quick, you have a vendor in a truck that shows up at the office, or where?
Yep, at the office, and there's a face painter and a balloon artist and a. We did mini golf this year too. That somebody came and set up a little mini golf course in our parking lot.
The whole event costs you
I get sponsors for it, and it costs me probably under $1,000.
Your out of pocket.
My out of pocket. No brainer. And I typically have somewhere between 70 and 100 people that come.
It's just so silly. It's like, this is not that hard.
It's not that hard. Yeah.
But was it hard to start?
Oh yeah. I think we have a master class of client events that I was part of, that I talked about this. And my first ice cream social was a complete disaster, and it was so dumb. It was just so lame. Like, I can't believe anybody actually showed up to it.
And yet, did they?
Yeah, people came. It was drive-through. It was COVID. It was 2020, and so it was dumb. But so I do that. In February, I rent out the Des Moines Children's Museum, and that one's also really simple. It's just a time to come and bring little kids to play. I provide dinner, and that one also out of pocket is probably $600 to $700.
Both pretty family oriented, both more natural because that's the age of your kids.
Correct.
And so I love what you said earlier on. I mean, I think that's part of the struggle, is finding items of value, client parties, communications that are authentic and match who you are.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'll never do it because it feels, it's just not authentic.
And that's, I'll get to my third client party, which was new, but that was what was key for me in pop buys too.
Okay.
Because in the middle part of my career, I was trying to do the Buffini pop buy system, and it was not authentic for me to stop by somebody's house or place of work with a $1 ice cream scoop and to say, I've got the scoop on the real estate market. That wasn't me. So I had to come up with pop buys that were more.
What landed?
I do a few every year. I do lottery tickets around St. Patrick's Day. This year, this was kind of fun. Around Easter, I went to 10 of my top referrers, and I set up like a little Easter egg hunt in their front yard for their kids. I do boo baskets in the fall. I do wrapping paper in Christmas.
Boo baskets.
Boo baskets, yeah.
I've never heard that before.
No? You've been booed. You just give a little Halloween treats and
somehow that's less cheesy than a $1 ice cream scoop to you?
Yeah, for sure.
Why? What's the difference?
I think because it's fun. It's cute. I feel like if it's something where if I got it, I would think like, oh, this is cool.
And that's the key right there. Both of those are about know you and then make it authentic. Yeah. And what's fascinating is like, if people are going to work with you, it's because of who you are. So there's really no point in pretending to be something you're not.
Sure.
And there's someone for everyone, right? So they're going to be the right kinds of clients will be drawn to you.
And the people who love the $1 ice cream scoops will have their person too. And that's great. There's nothing wrong with that.
Whoever you are out there, Thomas doesn't think you're very cool.
There's a market share there.
So I hear pop buys that you're actually deliberate about. I hear client parties that it sounds like you're at. Did you say the third?
No, this was my first year I did this one, and it was more geared towards adults, top referrers, where I did a private cooking event, Cooking with Alessandra, and people came and we made risotto and drank wine and had a great time.
How many folks?
It was 16.
Okay. That's a lot. I mean, and these are your A+. These are your top people, and you're out of pocket per person there approximately. Do you know?
That whole event cost me about $1,500. So it was about $100 a person.
These are pennies.
Yeah, it was incredible, and this was once again authentic to me because I've taken the class before and I've really loved it. But also, just like you have figured out that I like to be wined and dined and made like a big deal of.
You were able to do that.
I was able to do that with my clients, and I was able to I took a few minutes before, and I was like, hey, you guys are all here because you have the most impact on my business. I couldn't do what I do without you. I'm grateful for you, and I hope you enjoy this event.
So what about more sustained communications to your database?
Yeah, so a lot of it goes around my client parties. I space them out specifically, so I can have targeted phone calls.
Because the event's
emails.
Not the point. You get to invite them, you get the call, you get the follow up.
Yeah, I have a month, sometimes over a month of prep work, of reaching out to people with that. I mean, I have a twice a month email newsletter that goes out.
That's more about real estate, the market, or more just life and me?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah, and working on revamping it a little bit for 2026, but very much like the first thing is going to be like just a little bit about me. There typically has some level of real estate relation to it, but I try to put little stuff about my family in there too, and then also market stuff.
Calls, notes.
Notes, yes. And I don't have a system per se for notes, except for my system is around events. So if I bump into somebody, or if I have a coffee or lunch with somebody, I'll send them a note. Okay. If they send me a referral, I'll give them a note. I'm not I don't have necessarily a quota. I guess I kind of have a quota, but it's more around the events than it is.
And it's habitual, so you got a pile of them, and they go out every week.
Yeah.
But no calls, I hear.
No. What I will do is, I don't do this monthly, but a few times a year, it will not be more than 4, but not less than 2. I will send out I'll text a video, a personalized video that will have some, one I did this year was around tax time.
In mass. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's pseudo personalized.
Pseudo personalized, but so I try to relate it to provide value once again.
Well, and it's obviously working for you. So you're getting in the path, you're staying top of mind, and you're attracting people that want to work with someone like you.
I think the last thing is just intentionality about conversations and about referrals, and how I a lot of my communication, everything around my client parties is I'm grateful for you and your referrals. I'm doing this because of your value to my business. I want to provide value to you too. And so I'm just trying to be intentional about my conversations I have with people about that.
Kind of like the big 3 dialogue in Buffini.
Yeah.
You're not by the book, but you're essentially playing the playbook.
Yeah.
And I think that's what everyone needs to understand, is that some degree of adaptability or adaptation of the system to match who you are and how you flow just makes perfect sense. That's super cool. So, I mean, you created that formula. You said 2 things that impacted you this year. One, obviously repeat and referral. The second was outside referrals from agents, which really is more of the same in a way. If you ask me, it's a second category of referrals.
Yeah. It's I did the percentages for my business, and even with all of that, 94% of all my business was either my sphere of influence or repeat referral business.
And just so I'm caught up, and 3 years ago when we talked, you were a little more team structured.
Yeah.
I think you've changed some of that since then. What's your, I know you're acting independently as an agent at this point. Do you have administrative support right now?
I have somebody who handles my marketing, social media.
Okay.
And that's it.
So you've done your 50-60% growth year, your record year hitting Centurion, with a little bit of marketing support.
Yeah. So
and how's that been? I'm curious. Have you drowned this year? Has it been hard?
Yeah. Yeah.
You did?
A little bit. There were several points throughout the year where I was a little burnt out, and it was difficult to keep going. I definitely have relied on some help with some of the newer agents who have helped me with some showing stuff and open houses and things like that. But yeah,
So what has to change next year so you can sustain but not drown?
Great question. Well, I'm still in the realtor psychosis mode where I'm there's no way that's going to happen again. So I don't want to plan for that. No, I was talking to my wife about, actually my wife brought it up to me, where she's like, what do you need to do? Do you need to hire an assistant? And
because she wants a new car now, right?
No.
I'm kidding. I know you guys are super conservative.
Yeah, she doesn't. So we'll see.
So what was
haven't
the
committed.
answer to her?
The answer was, let's see how next year goes.
Because you don't want to make commitments because then
Yeah.
there's fear of maybe failing.
Yeah.
Dark.
I know. It's not right.
So common.
I am more open to it now than I was even 4 months ago. And it's one of those things where I don't know what am I trying to say here? I don't know if I would work well with an assistant too. Like that would be, there are people who are really, really, their strengths are having a team and being that raw person for a team and keeping everybody together and everything. And I just don't know if that's my strength. And so that's a big part that's holding me back.
You're not alone in that. Both the feeling, which some of it is valid. Some of us are just naturally gifted at delegation and organizing, and others are better at like getting their hands on things and getting it done. I think that's visible in people's Colbys to some extent. But also what I've seen is the flip side of that coin, which is agents, rugged individuals, trying to build a better system and have team members and then bumping their shins and then going, wait, this means that I'm not good at this, so I need to not do it. And that's the false version of the tapes. And so, it's fun wrestling through this with people and trying to help them figure out to what extent it's just bad tapes in their head versus actual unique ability.
Yeah.
So at present, no big changes in your plan. You're just going to keep doing what you're doing and hoping you don't drown.
I did offload more responsibility onto my marketing person,
Okay, good.
which was good. Not enough, but more.
Yeah.
And then it's maybe a 2026 goal to at least explore that option more.
Back to the realtor seasonal psychosis syndrome and you not wanting to commit to another great year next year because what if I fail?
Well, yeah.
One of the things, did you read Shine? Did you ever pick that one up?
No.
That whole, one of the chapters was about developing a 10-year thinking, developing 10-year, don't think in 1 year increments.
You know, that's actually one of my Clifton strengths. And my top 10 is futuristic. I very much enjoy, like when we did that 10-year planning session for Roundtable.
Yeah.
That came really easily to me, and I enjoyed that a lot.
Well, focus on that. I think maybe when we think this year compared to next year, then the pressure of making next year as good or better than last year, that's more, right? More than more thinking.
Yeah.
But when I consider maybe my 10-year objectives, there's going to be years that are up and years that are down. But what's more important is, am I moving this thing forward? Even if next year is slightly down, am I moving in the direction of what I'm going to want over the average of those 10 years? And then what invariably happens is, bad years come and sometimes they don't. But when they do, I'm not hamstringing myself by being afraid to achieve what I want to achieve next year. And I don't want to commit to it because what if I don't get there and I look like an idiot to myself or to others? When I average that out over 10 years, I think I have more courage to go do what needs to be done. And then the year will be what the year is. I don't know if that makes any sense, but
yeah, no, that
10-year thinking is super empowering for me. Anything else on I want to get to your a couple of the topics super quick, but anything else on your amazing best year and words of wisdom on how you got there?
It's getting in front of people, and it's just, I firmly believe all opportunity lies on the other side of value creation, and you can provide value in two ways. You can provide value to your database by just being their real estate agent, their real estate expert, and providing them consistent real estate value.
Trusted advisor,
exactly. Yeah. And then you can provide an extraordinary client experience. You can provide value to your sales funnel by creating that extraordinary client experience. And so I guess that's been a big focus of my year this year, has been, differentiating
the peeps versus the clients.
Correct. Yeah.
Because what you deliver to the clients is a different value proposition than the peeps.
Yeah.
And it is that simple. That's why our CRM is divided that way. It's why I think that picture is super powerful.
Yeah.
Good for you. Tell me a little bit about our conversation yesterday. I don't want to get into the whole tax thing. Am I allowed to share where you're at with your investment property? Is that public or no?
It's not, but sure.
It's about to be.
It's about.
So we celebrated in the parking lot yesterday.
Yeah.
You guys just paid off.
It's a grand celebration.
Well, you paid off your rental property.
Yeah.
That's pretty darn cool.
Yeah, it was, once again, I never ever thought that I would amount to this. And so I'm very, I don't know, it doesn't feel real necessarily, but that was a big goal of my wife's and mine. First off, it was very intimidating for us because we are very, very conservative with our finances. Yeah. And so it was a big step to just buy the rental property to begin with. And then it was a big goal of ours over the last 3 years to pay it off. And so we focused on it and made it happen this year.
Which then turned into a big conversation about taxes
and you scolded me for paying it off. Yeah. Yeah. You're like, congratulations. You shouldn't have done that.
Separate conversation. Do you have future imminent plans for another?
Yes. Like nothing identified, nothing. I mean, we just paid off the one. We need to get the down payment ready for the next one, but yeah.
You are the tortoise, sir.
Yeah. That will always be the case.
You know how the story ends.
He wins.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got young kids. I've read that nursery rhyme.
I mean, I think I'm a tortoise too. I just don't aspire to massive, like I'll never be a billionaire. I'm doing nothing that would ever get me there, but it's just a tortoise game. And I think, maybe we attract tortoises.
Sure. Yeah.
It's super cool.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. I'm a massive, massive believer in the system. The system is you got to build a business that generates revenue.
Yeah.
And you nailed it. That's by taking care of your peeps and by creating remarkable client experiences. But the whole point of that is the same point as exists for any other business owner out there. Build something that generates revenue. Mm-hmm. And then the next step is to turn that revenue into assets, long-term assets, hopefully that appreciate and spit out passive income. Now, the final game that we talked about in the parking lot is then as that passive income increases, is we've got to be careful of our tax exposure with that. But the next chapter is about leveraging those assets to go and do amazing things, whether that's building wealth or going and impacting and improving the lives of people. When you've got a vehicle that creates revenue, that you turn into assets that produce passive revenue, you position yourself to go and do meaningful, cool, and amazing things in the world that most people don't have the luxury to do. And so, we sell houses for a living, but my passion's always been this vehicle, right? It's real estate's this amazing vehicle to, first of all, engage in meaningful transactions. So we're not like selling vacuum cleaners for a living.
Right, yeah.
We get to serve people in such a beautiful space and create large amounts of revenue if you do it right. You got the inside scoop on building your asset base, right? You get to find the good deals and earn commission doing it.
Yeah.
And then as that stacks, I just think you build an amazing platform to go and do cool things. And so I love your story because I see yours as the tortoise game. You're playing the playbook of working by referral, and it has this compounding effect over time. And next year may or may not be as big as this year, but I can guarantee
let's not put that out there.
Well, no, but I'm willing to, because here's what I'm confident about. The average of the next 5 years for you will be bigger than the average of the last 5 years for you. You are building something that compounds and sustains. It's a profitable, sustainable, and I think enjoyable version of the business. So, I mean, maybe that's a well-done speech. Maybe that sounded too paternal.
No, not at all.
But I think it's super cool to watch you over the last 12 years slowly but surely build this the way we encourage people to do it.
I think that is I guess when I'm coaching new agents, that is a very challenging thing for me to convey, because I can show them what my plan is and what my plan for reaching out to my database or my plan for my client parties. And it's sometimes hard, but important that I remember 10, 12 years ago when I started.
It all looks like garbage to them.
It's like,
it's not possible.
It's not possible. But slow and steady does win the race. And if you are methodical about building your database, and if you are not religious, but if you are just devoted to creating that extraordinary client experience where you are maintaining yourself as the trusted advisor. I'm most of the way through that book for your database, if you position yourself, and something I've recently been telling people too, where I think a lot of real estate agents get it wrong, is there are plenty of real estate agents who say I work by referral and they want to work with their database. They work with repeat business. But I think a lot of people, real estate agents, when they're communicating with their database, they're saying, oh, if you're looking to buy or sell, like I want to be your person. And I want to target my communication to my database saying, I want to work with your people. Like of course, if you're going to sell, I want to help you with that, but I want to help your friends and your family.
And I don't think most agents understand how vital that distinction is in the psychology of the recipient.
Yeah.
Most buyers, after they buy a house with you or sell a house with you, the best thing they can imagine, they love you and they would love to support your business, but their brain doesn't naturally go to refer. Their brain goes to, I will totally work with you.
Yes. And so I try to reframe my conversations with people. And this has been something that I've especially been focusing on this year is I want to work with your referrals. I don't even talk about if they're looking to buy or sell. That will naturally come up in the conversation.
Well, if you win them on the referrals, you're going to win them on their next sale.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I think where I've struggled this year the most is the extraordinary client experience on the transaction side. Because of the large increase in volume of my transactions, I don't have a good system for that.
So, I mean, if I'll put you on the spot, did you drop the ball this year, or did you just have to really spin your wheels? When I say drop the ball, relative to the standards you would like to have had with your clients, do you feel like you had to, you didn't live up to your own expectations, or do you feel like you did, but it was at the cost of balance?
I think both are true. I think I went through seasons where I did drop the ball because I got burnt out. And so I didn't respond as quickly as I did, or I did forget certain things. And then I also think there were other seasons this year where I wasn't burned out. I was a lot more gung-ho about it. And so I did sacrifice other, perhaps more family time or whatever, not dropping the ball there.
And it's going to come in seasons. I mean, I think there is a time for that. There's a time to get busy because you did well on your last year's investments. And then there's a time to make adjustments. And it's the game, right? Yeah.
So this year, especially in my business planning, I'm focusing on, okay, how can I create these systems? How can I create consistency in my transaction side of things? I feel like I'm really good on the database side. This year, I need to focus on the transaction side.
Systems, yeah.
Isn't that always the case?
Systematize the predictable so you can humanize the experience.
Yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, and you don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. It's all these bumper stickers, they actually start to make sense along the way. And you're like, wait, that's more than a bumper sticker.
Yeah.
So closing out real quick, you touched on the new agent thing. Just for anyone that doesn't know, all of our brand new agents, our new licensees, they go through a process of coaching and learn a lot of stuff through that first year. But you are responsible for kind of overseeing that initial chapter of their journey and then connecting them to their local success coach.
Yes.
I'm just curious maybe I've got two ways to ask the question. What are you seeing right now in our new agents? Like what's working, what's not? And maybe what traits have you seen that have been leading indicators of success? Does that make sense? It's a big question.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
What are you seeing? What's working?
I see in new agents exactly what I saw in myself. So there's positives and negatives. Starting with the, let's call it challenges to overcome. What I'm seeing in new agents is like imposter syndrome and a hesitancy to put themselves out there because they're like, well, I've been licensed for 4 months. What the heck do I know? And I see that a lot. And what I try to convey to new agents is you've only been licensed 4 months. You don't know squat. But the fact that you are friends and family, you are people that they know, you give a crap about what happens to them, and that already makes you the right person for the job. You can figure out the rest along the way.
You're better than someone that's been doing it 10 years that is not going to do what's right for them.
Unless that's me, but yeah.
But you would do what's right for them.
Correct. So like already off the bat, because you give a crap about your sphere of influence, you're the right person for the job, and then you have this support team to back you up. Yeah. I think what's working really well, though, is more intentionality. I think people are just new agents today are better about the systems than we ever were in the beginning. I think that they are.
Is that because we're more clear in our coaching now? Like we've distilled the messaging down in a way that works better, or why would they be better?
Yeah, I think that's it. Like we had the systems that we're coaching now aren't very different in the core.
They're refined.
They're well more refined.
Yeah.
And we have a better system. We have a better process. And I think that has gone leaps and bounds. I think people understand, like when we talk about agent archetypes, when I talk about agent archetypes,
which weren't new agents, we didn't have agent archetypes.
No, we didn't have that at all.
It's amazing you made it.
It's by the skin of my teeth. I think that resonates with people, and I think that and something else. I'm just kind of jumping around. Agent archetypes resonates with people, and when we say, okay, find out where you want to be with your archetype. Let's focus your activities. I actually had a great conversation with one of our new agents yesterday about this. And he said that he's just like, I found that I am really good at like when I'm face to face, and I like better than on the phone or whatever. And I'm like, great, let's figure out what activities we can create in your weekly schedule that gets you in front of people. I think the next thing that is working is, well, I kind of lost my train of thought there. But agent archetypes is working.
Well, I was thinking about that, and then 5 spokes, and then how we've taught the funnel, and how we've created the unified graphic of our unique process of working by referral, which is creating the remarkable client experience, then adding them to the database, and the clarity that we have on what we do has been so impactful for us as trainers, so that we can be more clear on the messaging, but I think also for the recipients then. I think that we've always known the big picture of what we are trying to accomplish in people's businesses here, but I think our ability to plant that in people's minds and give them clear steps is getting better and better and better.
What I was going to say with 5 spokes, something once again that I have been probably made more of a effort to communicate in the last 6 months or so, is when you're also tried to incorporate more in my business, is when you're looking at your 5 spokes, especially when you're a brand new agent, you need short-term lead generation strategies, and you need to be good at them.
I need money today.
You need money today, but you also need long-term lead generation strategies, and that's pretty much your database. There's others, like if you want to do neighborhood, whatever, but like your database, it might not be your short-term lead generation strategy, but that doesn't mean you can't pay attention to it. You can't nurture it and grow it. So that's been another thing I think that's been working well.
Yeah. Well, I think it's cool that you do that, and I hear lots of good feedback about you. So appreciate that you are helping our next generation of people figure this out.
I pay them to say that, though.
Well, you must be paying them well. Okay, well, I think you and I are going to go grab lunch.
That's the plan.
And so I'm looking forward to that. But I appreciate you sharing. I just wanted to take this opportunity to kind of memorialize a benchmark in your career. And like I've said, I want to do more and more of these Clues to Success conversations, because I think the best thing I can do for our team is mine for nuggets of wisdom and insight. And there's just so many people doing so many cool things, so many different ways here. And so I appreciate you sharing everything, and look forward to breaking some bread. Thanks for coming in. Thank you for joining us today. For more episodes, resources, and show notes, head to morethanmorepodcast.com.